Zion Williamson, at the extremely ripe age of 20 years old in just his second season in the league, has turned out to be an elite professional. Shocking, right? Of course, there was the crew that thought a 6'7", 285-pound ball-handling player was just going to fold against stronger players. But so far, it's just the opposite, as in, he's folding other players. But it's not just anything normal, and people don't really care as much because A, the Pelicans are probably not going to make the playoffs, and B, Zion does not dunk everything as was expected coming out of college. He's actually taking a smarter approach, probably on the count of his knees, but that's what's so amazing. These aren't just lob catches or blow-bys for simple dunks and that's just all he can do, he's one-dimensional. No, he is already one of the best finishers in the league, and he's finishing in a variety of ways. Switching hands in midair, taking contact from multiple players on the way up, protecting the ball and bulldozing bigger players while finishing with the offhand. There's quite literally not enough defense to stop him, to the point that traditional methods against a non-shooting big handling the ball are not working. There's times where the defense will try to build a wall, they'll have bigger defenders on him, they'll give him space which he routinely eats up, and help off of any other Pelicans player that they can. Normally these things would serve to make life tough for a player that lacks shooting touch, but due to the combination of his size, speed, strength, and ball handling, for his size, he's able to take the ball from the perimeter and bulldoze through these game plans. And the question that starts to come to mind here is, what happens once he's on a team that is fully tailored to him? While the spacing the Pelicans provide for him in these sets is definitely not as bad as it could be, there's no doubt that one day it's going to be better, as for right now, sometimes he's straight up running into a paint that includes Jackson Hayes or Steven Adams, and when 6'7", 280 pounds is driving full force down the lane, their defender is always willing to help and clog the lane a little bit. Of course, that's been to no avail, as to this point in the season, Zion is averaging 26 points, and he's doing so on 62% shooting. Don't forget the 7 rebounds he throws in with this as well, where sometimes he straight up grabs a rebound in a crowd of players off of his own miss and puts it back. Despite often creating his own looks in a situation that is really not ideal, at this particular moment he boasts a 66% true shooting percentage. Long story short, in his second year, the league cannot handle Zion, and he is not even in the best situation that he's going to be in. Let's take a look at his most recent outing, in which he puts up 28 points on 50%. Albeit that it is the Boston Celtics, who are not great defensively, they're still trying a lot of the things that a team will logically try against him, and as he's done all season, he's simply able to break it. So this seems to be just about the setup that you would want as you're guarding a non-shooting big man. You've got him at the top handling the ball, you've got another big down here potentially clogging the lane, and all the help in the world set up to force him to make a pass, to bother a layup, to bother a potential drive. And so you're not going to see much of that from the Celtics here. You're going to see Kornet flip his hips here, push him towards the help, and it does not matter because he's just going to finish with the left hand on the right side. So right about this point, you seem to have everything that you would want. Again, you've got Luke Kornet forcing him towards help. You got Fournier that can slide over and make a swipe at it. Maybe Grant Williams can step in and take a charge. You've got ideal situations, so a better defensive team can probably handle this better than the Celtics did, but still, Zion he's been feasting in the paint with looks like this the entire season. And you're going to see some more difficult looks throughout the video. This one was kind of a gimme, but even when they do make it tougher, it really just doesn't matter. Case in point, you're going to have Zion set up a drive. Now, see as Steven Adams is screening Kemba Walker in case Zion is going to skip a pass to Bledsoe in the corner. However, nobody's preoccupied with that. Nobody cares about a Bledsoe corner shot, but Kemba doesn't even step in. Marcus Smart does, however. He attempts to take a charge. Very brave of him. Maybe should have got the call. Zion is just going to regather it. Play's kind of broken at that point. He just makes something out of nothing. But as I'll do frequently throughout this video, I'll have you just take a look at a still shot and just look at the fact that this turned into 2 points. Man trying to take a charge, point guard being screened, but he could opt to come in and help. Once again, on-ball defender pushing him towards help. And none of it matters. Zion this season is just going through things. Again, maybe a no call here, but this is not the only time you're going to see him go straight through defenders. And that was still a tough finish. That was still a very tough finish. This is, once again, finishing with the left hand over the outstretched hands of a very athletic Robert Williams on the right side. That's incredible. So here's where you're going to see the skill really come out. So they're going to switch a smaller defender on him, Evan Fournier, in and out, straight into multiple bodies. He is going to corral, not a rebound there, just corral a loose ball. And he's still able to get it back in with bodies swarming. Look at this. No real contest here other than Robert Williams, but the entire team gathered around. Now, this is just typical 2021 Boston Celtics stuff. But once again, Zion breaking basketball rules, just being able to force his way through things when he's practically playing point. Perfect still shot. All the attention is on Zion. Even Kemba over here. Fournier and Robert Williams hypothetically should have stopped this somewhere. Steven Adams clogging the paint. Smart and Grant Williams. Like, you just assume at this still shot, this did not turn into 2 points. And yet it does. Fournier got a really good grip on that as well. and this is just what you're dealing with. The man's a monster. As this play starts to develop with Luke Cornett guarding Zion, which is absolutely not what you want, I want to bring attention to the fact that they are bringing help and a double, essentially, to a non-shooting big on the three-point line. So they don't even want to give him the opportunity to eat up this space, which is what he basically spent the entire night doing. He's going to escape it with the left hand. Peyton Pritchard swipes at it, doesn't matter, uses the strength, and this time finishes it without having to corral it. Nobody gets a hand on it. These are the incredible things that he's doing this year that aren't dunks that people just simply don't seem to care about. Once again, shooters being completely ignored. Lewis actually had a nice night, but Pritchard would rather try to swipe the ball away. Great protection, and the still shot. Does this look like it's going to be a make? There are 3 Celtics players here that could potentially get a hand on it, just make the shot tough, and he's going to take contact in front of him and behind him and finish elegantly with the left. By the way, on this play, I just do want to point out where the help came from. Nobody's worried about a Jackson Hayes, so you see Naismith pointing out Josh Hart, his cut. By this point, Naismith has totally turned his attention towards Zion. Hayes is just standing here. That's a potential lob, I guess, if you can get a good pass off, but nobody's worried about that. They're worried about Zion. What about when he's on a team where you actually have other threats? Like legitimate star threats around him, or something like a stretch 5, or guys where you just can't sleep at night knowing you left them by their lonesome on the three-point line or from the mid-range, or even just in the dunker spot. More skill from what we essentially thought was a big man when he came into the league. They're going to get the switch, under the legs, cross, left. My goodness. The handles are very tight, so much so that I'm not sure building a wall against him actually helps. When you combine the handles with the speed and the strength, having a big man on him is absolutely useless. It's not like some other guys we've seen this against. And once again, who is the help leaving? You've got the corner, wide open, not worried about Jackson Hayes. All the attention goes towards Zion, even if the help is definitely not adequate, but it's the attention factor. And the fact that I can see a future, and I'm praying for a future where guys don't feel comfortable with that. And that's kind of what you see here on this play, just a basic driving kick. Finally, you've got Jason Tatum out here on him. I guess that's ideal. Tatum, a nice two-way player. He's going to cut off the drive. The help is actually going to get there on time, but when you commit that fully, there is sometime going to be a shooter out there. That's going to be the issue for teams throughout his career. On this roster that is, I wouldn't say it's adequately built around him. He's already able to score efficiently, sometimes find shooters like this. It's going to get ugly. So the takeaway from a game like this is that it is fairly frightening. Zion handles the ball from the perimeter at times, makes the proper reads against defenses that are totally geared towards stopping him, and does what everyone knows he's going to do and still gets it done. There's other times where he doesn't necessarily need the ball. He'll pass and cut through, wind up under the basket, and if there aren't multiple defenders nearby, well, the defense already lost. Zion is going to get better, smarter, team rosters will cater to him more and more, and we really won't have that long until his teams are a serious threat. Of course, that has a lot to do with the defensive side of the ball as well. That's going to come with time, but turning his teams into offensive juggernauts won't be as difficult. What are your thoughts about him halfway through his second season? Who would you like to see the Pelicans surround him with? And how long do you think it'll be before they're elite? Let me know in the comment section. Also, hit the like button and subscribe if you're not, because most of the people who watch this channel are not subscribed, meaning you will also have to hit the bell next to the channel name if you want notifications every time a video drops. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one.